All right. Is all my headphones broken? I don't even know if you guys can see that, but the headphones, it's a little cracked. It's a little cracked right there. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that your day is going very well today. Today we're listening to, excuse me if I mispronounce this, Pere Ubu. I believe perhaps that's how you pronounce it. We're listening to two of their songs today. We're listening to Non-Alignment Pact and Modern Dance. This is the two opening tracks off of their album of the same name, The Modern Dance, which was released in 1978. So I was so generously gifted the actual album here, and so I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and take a listen to the first two tracks off of here. I've seen the band pop up in the comments, but I myself have never heard of them. I have the Wikipedia page open for this album as well as the lyrics, but can I tell you, I'm not going to read anything about them. I literally have no idea what they do, who they are, or anything. Just basing this off of the name of the band, perhaps they are from a non-English speaking country. I don't know. This is just an assumption, but we're going to find out together. We're going to give it a listen, see how it goes. Hope that you guys enjoy the music, and let's go. This is Non-Alignment Pact, following and leading into Modern Dance. this is why the two-song system works every once in a while. And by every once in a while, I mean pretty much every single time it works. This is kind of like a weird pseudo-punk kind of sound that they got going on. The guitars are very punkish. The vocals totally unrefined and uncaring, just going for it, right? Which, at least from what I've heard, seems to be kind of, in part, the spirit of punk. Not worrying about sounding this way or over-polished. Just say whatever you need to say so that people hear it. You know, get your message and your words across, no matter how in tune or out of tune you're going to be. And I actually really enjoy this singer, especially in the second song, Modern Dance. There's just a certain way he came across there. I love the ending of the opening track. I love the ending of that because really at that point he just kind of lets loose and starts making noises. I don't even know. It sounds like we're going to some sort of animal farm in some ways. Like, he goes off a little bit, but I like the character in his voice, and I think that that's what brings a certain fun and edge to the music itself. Now, I thought one of the most interesting facets in this was, for example, what was widely heard in Modern Dance, especially when you got into the middle section and the ending. First of all, you hear kind of like a hissing sound, which honestly I thought it was like my headphones going wonky at first. But then it's reintroduced later. You also have the sound of a bunch of footsteps, people walking through some sort of hall or something like that. And then eventually the two things kind of combine in the later 2/3 of the song. And it has this really interesting sound effect, electronic kind of sound that's happening. Let me pull it up here. See, here it almost sounds like we're tuning into a specific TV station or trying to catch a signal. You can imagine, like, looking back, right, decades back when you had to adjust the antenna to find a signal. Remember that? It's kind of like that. We're adjusting our antenna to try and find the signal. And we're catching different snippets of different things at this point. The effects are swirling in and out. You get that hissing sound once again, and the music continues to play there. I think that that is so interesting, just how effect-laden this track is. And it kind of morphs the whole song from maybe something a little typical punk into something a little more artsy. Some of their sound reminds me of if the Doors went punk. Not totally, but there's something about them that they feel like a slightly more rugged Doors to me when I was listening to it. Especially in the first song, which is just... This is just that crash and burner of an opener. This is really where you really get those, you know, punk guitars, the bass too, the unrelenting force of the vocals here. And then if you move forward, they bring it down a little bit. And guitar, it seems, is also playing to that strange effect the music has over you. And looking at the actual personnel here, there are a lot of people playing in this band. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people playing in this album at least. So David Thomas is on the vocals here. He's also doing some percussion, a production, and the musette. What is a musette? I guess it's a piccolo oboe. Okay, so it brings that out as well. Tom Herman on the guitar, which, like I said, his guitar is really interesting, especially in lieu of Alan Ravenstein, which is a really cool name. So interesting, because I've never heard of this. He's playing a bunch of synthesizers and a saxophone and tapes and production, so he's like that experimental mastermind behind the music, which I assume we really get a look into on Modern Dance. He also works on something called the EML 101 and 200 analog synthesizers. Now, clicking on that brings me to this huge, like, synthesizer. It's keyboards, and there's just like a backsplash of buttons and devices and sliders and things. And I mean, I've seen some live performances, for example, with ELP, of them like messing around with stuff like this, and that is just really cool. I mean, I can imagine how annoying it would be to lug that around for live shows. But seeing that device and then hearing what's going on in Modern Dance, like in this section, I can kind of imagine him going and twisting knobs, messing with effects, and maybe things that he's recorded and put into the synth here. I don't know. I don't know really the technology behind it. But I think that that's really interesting. And I think that that's part of what makes the sounds of the songs stand out. Still have that hissing here. That's really cool. I like that. And I like that little back and forth there. Now, when I was gifted the actual album here, I was also gifted a few more things. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think that this the gifts has kind of a theme. Well, I know they did. And one of the things that I was gifted, if I can pull it out, I'll drop something, was this. This is Manhattan Research Inc., right? So this describes kind of like the beginnings of synths, analog synths, and moving into digital synths and sounds like that. So it's just really cool how it was developed, how these things, you know, kind of like computers nowadays, how they are developed and they're this giant devices that eventually we modernized, and now we personalized into other devices. So that's just really cool, you know, really nice history behind that. Let's talk about the lyrics on these two tracks. The first being Non-Alignment Pact. I want to make a deal with you, girl, and get it signed by the heads of state. I want to make a deal with you, girl, be recognized around the world. It's my non-alignment pact, you better sign it. He repeats that over and over. At night I can see the stars on fire, I can see the world in flames. It's all because of you, girl, or your 1,000 other names. Peggy, Carrie Ann, Betty Jean, Jill, Joan, Jan, and Sue, Alice, Cindy, Barbara, Ann, you know it's all because of you. It's all because of you, girl. You know it's all because of you. It's all because of you, girl. You better sign my non-alignment pact. So what I'm kind of getting the idea of is he wants an open relationship. I think that's what he's saying. He wants to make a deal with this girl. That this is his special girl. But he wants to make this deal with her, and he says, you better sign it. And he says, I can see the world in flames, and it's all because of you, or your 1,000 other names. I don't know. I think he wants an open relationship. I think that's what he's getting at. So move on to the modern dance. Down at the bus, Murdre, into the town, Murdre, our poor boy can't get around Murdre. Don't know what that means. 8:55, down at the show, she leaves early, he'll never know. Because our poor boy believes in chance, he'll never get the modern dance. Under the door, an eye on the place, he watches for the shadows race. Watch real close, look real fast, he's in touch, it'll never last. Because our poor boy believes in chance, he'll never get the modern dance. I actually was reading it, but I wasn't really like, I wasn't like paying attention to it, I was just reading it. So, our poor boy, he won't get a chance. He's down at the bus, into the town, 8:55, down at the show, she leaves early, he'll never know. I think the modern dance just means, you know, dancing between the sheets. And he's just never going to have a chance with this girl. He's never going to have a chance with her. She leaves early. she's not interested. I think that's what it's about. Maybe. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know anything. All right, so now that I've done my blind kind of look at the band, let me actually read a little bit about them. So Pere Ubu was an American band formed in Cleveland, Ohio in 1975. Describing their sound as avant garage. Okay. Pere Ubu drew inspiration from music concrete, 60s rock, performance art, and industrial environments of the American Midwest. While the band achieved little commercial success, they have exerted a wide influence on underground music. Yeah, I've absolutely never heard of them, but I thought that these two tracks were really cool to listen to. And like I said, especially from the synthesizer kind of sound of it, I think that's part of what like is the spark of their sound. But let me know what you guys thought of the two tracks. You can let me know, of course, in the comments. You can follow me on a bunch of places, or in a bunch of places. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Because you'll be here tomorrow. Right? I mean, you told me. You promised you would, but I hope I see you tomorrow. That's all I gotta say. I'll see you then.